Well, hello, and thank you, President Gutman. So yes, my name is Edgar Rodrigo Palomino. I come from Chicago, and I am indeed a senior studying political science here at the University of Pennsylvania. But I stand here before you tonight because I had a fervent desire to express my gratitude to you, donors, family, friends, and peers. And with equal fervor, I desire to share an idea with you. But before I begin, I hope you will allow me the briefest of digressions. Ama, Apa, and Enrique, I dedicate the speech to you. You see, there is a synergy between the passion that shapes my life, the mission of this university, and the vision for this country set forth by Hamilton and Wilson. But in order to flush that out, we will need to visit my time before Penn, just briefly. I come from a very humble family, overflowing with love if limited in means, and yet this did not prove to be the obstacle that it could have been because of this country's system of public libraries. From the libraries, I was able to learn. I learned of Rome, of rifling, of particles, of Plato. I learned that the world was far more vast and the people far more diverse than what I could see in my daily life. And even at a young age, I realized that had my family not moved to the United States, it might have been a different story. And so I was filled with love and gratitude for this great nation. This, combined with an insatiable intellectual desire to further fill my maps, to turn those horizons that I had seen into tangible reality. But this was difficult given my circumstances, and over the years, I became resigned to an idea that there were limits to what I could accomplish, that those horizons would remain static. And then it came. A letter arrived, bearing your generosity. A single page allowed the shattering of a limited reality, allowed motivation to become momentum. Ladies and gentlemen, I was not nervous to come to Penn. I was excited. Here, I learned of Hinduism, of HH diagrams, of ancient Assyria, of accounting. I was astonished by how deeply I came to understand. Those maps I mentioned earlier, they filled with cities, dates, entire histories, and they grew more detailed with the quantitative means for understanding the very same. I was astonished by how much I came to understand. And yet, as phenomenal as this foundational education was, it would have been incomplete without my peers. And I would like to offer two brief anecdotes to this effect. First, before coming to Penn, I had never even heard of anti-Semitism or of Islamophobia, but once I became aware, I could not remain silent. But I lacked the knowledge to speak out. I took courses and I learned a lot, but I learned so much more from my peers, who then became my friends. From my friend Dua Makharam, I spent countless hours discussing the meaning of Islam, the shape of modern Islam, and the experience of an American Muslim. I would like to emphasize the word American. With my friend Parker Opt, I spent countless evenings discussing Israel, Bibi, and the meaning of Judaism in America. My maps filled with the Sunni, the Shia, the Ismaili, with Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox, just to name a few. I was astonished by how much I came to understand. And then I realized that this phenomenal education, impactful, insightful, was not just limited to Penn's campus, which brings me to my second anecdote. This fall break, I went on my first ever hike. I'm from the Midwest, there aren't mountains out there. I was excited. And so I did not expect Penn's diversity to manifest so powerfully on this trip to the remote wilderness. I signed up for the Adirondack trip offered by Penn Outdoors. It's dedicated to exposing students to life beyond the city. And I made friends from Oman, from Taipei, from Beijing, and from Chengdu. I did not expect that. And yet, every morning, I spent discussing with my Omani friend American and Omani history. And on the trail, I learned about the universities of coastal China. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect to practice my Mandarin on the summit of the Adirondacks. And yet there we were. And as I stood at this summit, surrounded by softly spoken Mandarin and Arabic, I realized something. I had become a global citizen. I had acquired a skill set that would allow me to serve my country. And I had the confidence to set my sights on the foreign service. I had fulfilled my deepest desires. I believe my parents may have realized this before me, as parents are wont to do, because the last time I went home, they surprised me. They surprised me with tears. And when I asked them what the matter was, they said, "When you were young, it broke our hearts, because we could not help you expand your world. But now we see just how wide your world has become." Ladies and gentlemen, you did not just help me fulfill my dream, you helped another set of parents witness their child become fulfilled. This would not have been possible without your support, without the backing of a powerful institution like Penn, and without the work of the tireless Penn family that I have here. People such as Frederick Poindexter, my case manager at Student Financial Services, whose sagacious patience made sure that every interaction was a breeze, not a battlefield, and with people like Chuck Brucci of Fox Leadership, who impressed upon me the nature of global leadership. I would now like to conclude and thank the donors with a final remark, and that is the idea I mentioned earlier. When this country was founded, Hamilton fought to ensure that it would be a country of many nations, where everyone would be welcome to lend their talents and energies to the American experiment. When this country was called upon to redefine itself, Wilson struggled to craft an American identity that not only accepted all people, but set forth to engage with them. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here tonight as the beneficiary of your generosity, but also as the recipient of this distinctly international American identity. It means a lot, it really does, because by supporting me, I'm just one of a larger picture that you are helping to sustain. And that is a picture of a United States that is more engaged, more accepting of all peoples. And for supporting this vision and for supporting me, I cannot possibly thank you enough, because it is a vision that is fierce in its passion, resolute in its firmness, and inspiring in its ambition. Ladies and gentlemen, you are helping to continue this. Thank you and good night.